So last week, I think it was, all schools broke up for the summer holidays. So I thought it'd be a good idea to just talk about if you two have any school stories from either high school, primary school, either or, if there's anything interesting.
Can you remember that far back?
To obliterate
like fucking dinosaurs, right? Carving on slate.
Yeah, we had the abacus out in maths like that. I try to intentionally erase that from my memory, but I've probably got some stories I could recount if necessary. I hated school, man. Am I alone there? I thought someone was going to agree with me.
I thought you would add more to that. No, I fucking hated school, actually.
It's brutal. Do you think it's like a brutal environment? I keep thinking, they talk about like the European standard of schooling, and there's the theory that European kids, it probably varies country to country, are more productive and have a better attitude towards education because they're not there like every week and their school days are shorter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because to me, it seems absolutely brutal when I think about it now. Like kids go to school at 8 o'clock in the morning? If you're at high school, 8 o'clock, or you certainly got to be there sometime around then.
Yeah.
And you leave at 3? I used to finish at 3:30 in my school.
Yeah, when I was 3:30. I never went into school for 3 o'clock, but I know some people left at 3 o'clock. That's
we used to finish, I think, at 3 on like a Friday. Maybe it's like early or whatever. You always did PE on a Friday, then you left a little bit earlier, right? But that's like a full fucking day at work, 5 days a week. Kids shouldn't have to process that. You're not fully developed physically or mentally to handle that. So I don't remember ever really being at school and obviously I learned stuff, but like, you know what I mean? It's a high pressure environment for a child to deal with.
Yeah.
And you're not a fully fledged. I think there would be more benefit personally to like a 3-day week, which put more emphasis on work that kids did a little bit more than they did at home, right? So I'm not at school, right? I've not been at school for 20 years, for Christ's sake. So I don't know what the education format is now, but if I were to be like education minister, I'd say you have 3 days, right, learning in classrooms. Then 2 days you go away and you do some homework, but the homework is like an original thought process, a bit like you do at college and uni. When you come, so like if you're in English, okay, pick a book and write about this book, tell me about this book, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I feel like it would give kids like the impetus to think creatively and originally, and it would be a bit more relaxed. I know it'd be hard for parents if you've got jobs and whatnot, but if there's any time to do it, more people working from home now. I just feel like, to me, that was a bit of a serious,
very serious thoughts,
soliloquy there. But like, yeah, it was to me. It was brutal, and it seems to me like it is still brutal. And you used to get homework, right, when you work in full fucking days.
Yeah.
So you don't even get to go home and enjoy yourself. You got to go home and then do homework.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's pretty savage. I mean, back to what you said there, like that could probably never happen because who's going to look after the kids in the 2 days if both parents are working? You know, like that's a parent if it's a single parent.
They don't do it like that in Europe, but they handle like truncated school days, don't they? They're not at school every day. They have more time off in Europe.
Do they?
In terms of hours, at least. Like schools finish at like 1 o'clock in Germany and stuff.
Oh, all right.
Fact check me on that, but I've read that somewhere.
Somebody's going to have as it comments. I get what you're saying though. I thought when you were saying like school's brutal, I thought you meant that just like kids are pricks.
It's physically brutal as well. Do you remember the first time you saw a fight at high school?
Yeah.
I remember going, like, in primary school, you'd had disagreements with kids and you'd be like, your dad's a dickhead. Well, he batter your dad. Fuck off. And then that'll be it, right? And then as soon as you get to high school, it's like gladiatorial, right? You see kids and fucking a big crowd around them and they're beating, like, I saw a girl get a fucking chunk of a hair torn out of her head. It's like being scalped or something. You know what I mean? And they're being in tears. I saw one girl piss herself while she was. This is really graphic. Sorry. I saw her piss herself while she was fighting, presumably because she was scared, as you would be if you're getting beaten to death.
Yeah.
Because there's no like, and there might be like one supervisory teacher at playtime or whatever. You can't control hundreds of kids that are out.
Especially like at like puberty age, when you lads are like 15, 16, like that's really shit UFC, but there's some damage can be done.
I remember like the first time seeing a fight and thinking, oh my God, this is terrifying. Like people are getting seriously hurt. And it's,
Well, we went up on a taster day up to high school, from when year 6, and then you go look at the high school for year 7. And I remember, so I won't give away which high school I went to, but there was another high school across the playing fields. So you'd go out to the playing fields, like a shared playing field. And it was like,
they were both high schools.
Yeah, they were both high schools.
They were different high schools.
Yeah, because they were both different like religions.
Oh, they were like it wasn't secular.
No. Yeah, but like every lunchtime, it was like a scene from 300, mate.
What were the two different religions?
Catholic, and then I think it were predominantly
Protestant,
Muslim.
All right, okay.
So it was like,
But they're not like, so they're not directly opposed.
no, it wasn't like, but it was just more like,
Theologically.
yeah, just, it doesn't matter what, it didn't
Yeah,
have to
true,
be religion. It could have been two fucking Catholic high schools. They've got different jumpers on, so it's like fair game.
Tribalism,
So, tribalism. It was fucking chaos at the end of school every day, just trying to leave because like all the schools getting released at once. But I remember went up on the taster day and all of the kids came out of that one side, all of the kids came out from our side, and it was like a fucking wall of people coming together and just fighting. So then when we got up there in year 7, they'd put a fucking metal fence straight across this playing field. So they must have gone like, this is just out of hand now. Like it must have happened for years it will happen.
Tradition.
Every lunchtime. So they've just put this fence up. Honestly, it was fucking chaos. And you say about fighting, I got into a fight at high school and I was telling George was like, tell me no more. But it was like PE, and they were like, there's obviously big kids. I was like a bigger kid. I was just lanky. I kind of look like what George looks like now, but 6'2". But two of the lads were like sort of picking on this younger lad, and they threw this kid into the showers. So they put all the showers on, fully in his uniform. They chucked him in the showers, and I was like, that's not on. And I like the kid now.
Excuse me, fellows. It's a bit out of hand.
I probably used a bit of stronger words than that. But I was like, that's you fucking dickhead. You shouldn't do that. So they were like, well, what are you going to do about it? And
Do you want some? Do you want some?
Like, actually, I'm not going to do anything. So I fucking bounced. I got him out and I'm like, don't be dickheads. And we walked off. And then we got into the playground. And obviously that's when the crowd start coming. They're like, oh, them two are going to fight. And they're like, oh, fucking hell. So I'm like walking up towards like the science area. And this kid shouts me. I'm like, fuck. It's on now. There's a big crowd. And I'm like, I still don't want to fight. So I turn around and this kid got right in my face. And he's like shouting in my face, and I'm like, nah, fuck this. So I pushed him away. He pushed me back, and I fell into so we had a wheelie bin, and the wheelie bin hit me straight across the back. And it knocked wind out of me. So I stepped forward and just fucking headbutted him straight in teeth like Zinedine Zidane, and knocked his 2 front teeth out. And then after that, it was just like windmilling. I pulled his jumper over his head and just started fucking swinging.
I like it, man. Josh is a crafty fighter. So he headbutts the dude, then he obscures his vision. There's probably some wheeler dealer kids around now selling PPV, I'm like pay-per-view for
yeah. School fight.
They're still going to fight. It gives them a bit of cash and they sell some tickets. No, but school, I hate school. I always thought it was I don't want to say too good for school, but I felt I was smart enough not to need to be there.
I definitely needed to be there.
I don't know, man. It's just, it's a harsh environment, isn't it?
I'm very much we've said before, I'm more of a practical guy, so I was not good at school at all.
Yeah.
And I've got a twin sister as well, so she was she was good at school and I wasn't good at school. So
it's normally how it pans out, isn't it? There's normally one that's like a bookworm, and then I was all right at school. I wasn't amazing. I got I think I got maybe 1A, mostly B's and C's. I failed food tech though. I told you that before, right? That's which is kind of ironic given what I do now. But
what other crazy shit happened when you were at school then? You got any more tales?
Yeah, where do we start? I don't really have that many wild. I always remember. This has probably happened at every school though. I remember lining up for swim class, but I don't know why they do this, right? But obviously you swimming, right?
Yeah.
And they get all the lads, right? Because I don't know if it's the same now, but you got dressed independently in the boys' changing room, the girls' changing room, and then the lads just stand out there, and then they always bring out the girls, right? And they're wearing bikinis, and you're 14, 15. Hormones are raging. I always remember this kid getting a boulder and jumping in the pool
to cool himself off.
I thought we were going in, sir, because I remember looking down the line, a couple of people giggling, and you could just see it kind of gradually going like this. Fair play to him, he's a sexual being, I guess, but he jumped in the pool, and that can't be the only time that's happened. That must have happened at every school at some point.
Yeah,
I remember one absolute lunatic of a kid. I think he's in prison now, right? And this is I think a story that, because most of my close friends are people I've known since I was at school, some of us since I was at primary school. We always tell the story of this kid that used to live not near me, near a bunch of my other friends who all lived in the same area, East End Park, in Leeds. And you had the gas taps in science class where you would attach the Bunsen burner and stuff like that. And this kid goes down, he just goes, it don't taste like home gas. Like he's been eating or inhaling gas. I'll tell you one story, right? This was in food tech as well. One of my mates was being a knob, and he kept throwing bits of rubber at me. So I'm sat literally across from him, almost identical to this. And you have those people in school who have a reputation for being hard cases.
Yeah.
And that extends not only to men, there's certain girls that you should avoid because they like violence. I don't know. I remember him throwing this rubber at me, And I got like a ruler, you know, like you would back in the day, the plastic can. And I just went like to hit, and he like dodged it. It was like bullet time, you know, like the movie The Matrix. Just kind of went, and it flew past him, smacked this girl. This girl who was like cock of the school, straight in the face. And I thought, you're in a rock and a hard place then as well. I'm thinking like, even if I could beat her up, which I probably can't really because she's a girl. So and I remember like walking over like fully raging and like just fucking right hooking me pure in the nose. And I've just been like, I'm bleeding all of, this is the funniest part, I was bleeding all of my coursework, right? So I was like, oh fuck. She didn't break my nose, fortunately, as you can see. Still in perfect shape. But I'm bleeding all of my coursework and I'm like, miss, somebody just punched me and I'm bleeding on my stuff here. And she was just being like, I think which wasn't in any way, what's the word, comforting. She was like, well, just try not to bleed on it anymore because you could probably still use that. You could probably still submit it. And I'm thinking it's got these big fucking clumps of blood all over. I'm like, all right, well, you said I could submit it, so I don't have to do it again at least. But yeah, got punched in the face by a woman.
That's nice, mate. Can you do the accent again? Is that how you actually spoke?
What was it?
Miss, somebody just punched me in the face.
When you've been
I think you went American, almost like fucking Twilight or something.
I was trying to be dramatic. Miss, he's punched me in the face. She's punched me in the face. I'm bleeding. Can you help me?
I went to sixth form for about 2 months because
a long tenure then, yeah.
Yeah, like because that was at the point where now you have to be at school till you're 18. Whereas like
is that true?
Yeah, it's like a legal requirement now. But back when us old folk went to school, you could bounce at 16, 15, 16, couldn't you? So I went back to sixth form. Yeah, and I left after about 2 months because all I did was like gamble in common room and just fucking dick about. But one of the other lads who were I was the kid that sold sweets. Do you know what I mean? Like fill my bag up.
You were the Del boy.
Yeah, I was the Del boy. I used to go to school with like playing penny push and playing like poker or whatever in common room, and I'd come home with like just pockets full of like pound coins. But there were a kid
always been an entrepreneur.
Yeah, there were a kid in sixth form that he were doing like drop kick practice up at the common room window and just knocked a pane of glass clean out, which were fucking big and heavy. That definitely could have killed someone. So I remember that from school. That was pretty savage.
Yeah, school is mad, isn't it, when you think about
Anybody
it?
shit themselves at your school? Apart from you, obviously.
I think I don't recall ever shit myself at school, actually, to kill surprise. But I don't really... actually, I do remember some... I don't really want to say because I think he had a problem. But I remember a kid shitting himself next to me when we were getting changed in for PE in the changing rooms. And I don't think he actually shit himself. I think he had shit already in his pants, and in the act of changing, took his pants down and like a bunch of horrible feces fell out. But that's kind of like urban legend now at school. People don't believe it happened. But I think, poor kid, I think he had something, like,
story of your life now, that, isn't it? Shitting your knickers.
Oh, but I just own it. I'm like, it happens. Sometimes it happens. I deal with it.
You just reminded me like urban legend. I don't know how true this story is. I don't even know if it's like a school story. It's just like something that I've heard over the years. The story of the girl that went back to the dude's house. And obviously they sort of wanted to get down to the deed, but she needs the toilet. So she goes to the toilet and does a massive shit that won't flush. So in her infinite wisdom, she took the shit out of the toilet and chucked it in the cat's litter tray. And then they sort of wake up the next morning and find out this shit in the litter tray. And she's like, oh my God, your cat's shit in the litter tray. And it's like, Ricardo has been dead for 3 months.
That's got to be an urban legend.